Hello, loves. It's your girl Lynn here, and it has been over a year since I did a video, but I came on today because I wanted to discuss narcissism and spirituality. And there are tons and tons and tons and tons of videos on YouTube and other platforms discussing narcissism and narcissists in general. So, narcissistic personality disorder, and I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but I'm a spiritualist, so I can touch on certain key points. And then there's certain other aspects of narcissism that only a clinician can break down and explain. But because this specific energy is stemmed on an individual who has an exploited sense of self, who has an inflated ego, who has control issues, that is very determined to put you in a place of subordination in their life, and to tear you down and build you up to meet their standards, or not even build you up to meet their standards, but they want to, like a child, take apart a car or a toy and put it back together themselves, so that they can take full responsibility of everything, your creation, your entire existence. So I want to talk about spirituality with narcissism. I learned from being married to and dating narcissists and just a collective energy. I was in a 10-year relationship with my children's father, who's a narcissist. I was married to a narcissist, and I was dating a narcissist prior to my divorce, prior to my marriage. So what I learned as far as how narcissism relates to spirituality is that narcissists mirror your fears, and they mirror the things that you need to work on within yourself. For example, I gave up a lot of things for narcissists because they wanted things done their way. They wanted control over me. They wanted my life to be a certain way. And in order to please them, I did these things without question, without a doubt. And in the end, I was told, oh, well, you're not submissive enough, by one narcissist. And I'm like, how in the hell am I not submissive if I've given up my whole entire life and I've picked up and I've done these things? Selling a house, rearranging my career, it didn't matter. That's not enough. Nothing is enough for a narcissist. And then you get with a person and they're like, oh my God, you're my dream person. You're exactly who and what I wanted and needed. And then they turn around and they say, oh, well, you're too traditional. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Did you change your needs? Or because I've been this way since day one, prior to you meeting me. So those are some of the examples that forced me to stop in my tracks. Oh, and a narcissist told me, you're not submissive, you're not domestic. All I do is clean up behind you. I'm not submissive, but all I do is submit to you and your needs. The whole relationship is built around what you need from me, what energies you have going on in your life, what issues and problems you have. I'm sitting at doctor's appointments with you. I'm going to church with you, and I'm a spiritual person, so I'm putting my thought system to the side, and I'm being open, creative, accommodating, and I'm being fair. I'm willing to not only submit, but I'm willing to sacrifice my home, my idealism, faith system, or whatever to accommodate the relationship. But that's not submission. That's not accommodating. That's not domestic. And also, a narcissist told me that I wasn't a good woman. But you want to marry me. You want to be with me. You're mad because, and the whole reason that you're telling me these things, and the whole reason that narcissists usually call you out on things, is when you're not doing something their way. That's not the same as not being submissive. There is a thing in the Bible, it even tells you, do not be a fool. Okay, so when you have gone through repeating patterns with narcissists, they seem to think that you're not going to leave, you're not going to get the light bulb moment, you're not going to actually divorce me, I was with my kid's father for 10 years, so of course he thought that. But the day that I had that aha moment and literally closed the door and specifically told him, you have to find your own place. My kids and I are moving. We're living on campus. I'm no longer doing this. It was on from there. He came in my apartment and he literally broke in because he climbed on the balcony downstairs, climbed up to my balcony, and he came in my apartment, tore my phone out of my hand, drugged me around the house wanting to fight me because I left him. But he had cheated over 16 times and he was a true narcissist. So why is it that I can't leave you? Well, that's how narcissists are. You cannot leave a narcissist and expect them to be okay with it because, again, they want to control you. And the way that this all relates to spirituality is these individuals force you to, again, like I said before, go inside yourself and see what it is that you need to heal from, what you need to work on. If you have abandonment issues, the narcissist will abandon you. They'll leave you. They'll cut you off. They'll block you. They'll act like you don't exist. They'll tell you that they have someone else. 9 out of 10, they do have someone else. 9 out of 10, they're just, draining your energy and usurping all of your goodness. And some of the things that you do to help improve their lives, they share those things with the next woman, or they make it seem like they came up with those ideas on their own. Oh, I have my own business. Oh, hold up. But did the non-traditional, not submissive, not domestic person help you do that? But they're going to take the credit and they're going to take that shine. It's just like the coworkers that you have that are brown nosing and that are at work stepping on everybody's back to get to the top, to get promotions, to get attention, to get raises. They take your work. I used to have a boss that when I worked in human resources, she was the director. She would have me to come up with all these fabulous ideas, and I would send them to the CEO initially when I first started working there. So I started getting all this attention and all this shine, and she came in my office one day, closed the door, and told me from now on, I'm not allowed to contact the owners. I have to send everything to her first and allow her to send it to the owners. No big deal to me. I'm okay with it. But what I started noticing in the meetings that we had, the reoccurring meetings that we had as a collective, the whole management team, including HR, all the clinicians, and the CEOs, I think our meetings were on Tuesdays. I can't remember. But when we had those clinical sessions and we came in and talked about things, my boss was taking credit for my ideas. And I didn't mind because it was not my position in the company to come in and try to outshine her. Interestingly, when she left the company, the CEOs told me that they knew this the whole time, and that's why they wanted to promote me. And I ended up getting my blessings in the end. It didn't matter to me because I was on a salary, so I was still going to get paid the same exact amount. But it's just another it's an exploitation is what it is. It's another way that narcissists choose to live their lives. And again, how it relates back to spirituality is that it is showing you something that you need to improve upon within yourself, something you need to enhance, something you need to sharpen. So those skills that I learned in that industry sharpened me. I became a business owner after that. But had she not put her foot on my back and taken my ideas, and I mean, it was to the point where I was working, my schedule was 9 to 5, and again, I was salaried, so I didn't get paid for overtime. But she expected me to stay late and not leave as soon as 5 o'clock got there, which I understand that when you're committed to your job, you don't leave your work finished. But I could be done working and everything. She didn't come in the office some days until about 3 or 4. And then she wants to have a meeting at 5 or 6 to catch up and see what's going on. No, you need to do this during normal business hours. But it's a certain situation where narcissists want control. They want to be the person that comes in and shakes up your life. When it comes to spirituality, this is very necessary. I did not get to the evolution of me as a spiritualist, as a healer, as an entrepreneur who lives off of my spiritual business without narcissists coming into my life and activating me. Dark night of the soul, showing me how to get rid of my ego, showing me how to heal from my abandonment issues, showing me that it's okay to be by yourself because you can do things by yourself, and you'll be happier without narcissists holding you back, dragging you down. It's just like a person who can just swim a little bit, enough to survive, not a Michael Phipps or somebody who's just barely able to survive, and they come in there and then they want you to carry them and keep them from drowning. Well, I'm barely floating myself, I'm barely getting by myself. So when you release that entity, that attachment, and you detach from that, you're able to not only take yourself up and survive, but you're able to pick yourself back up to the point of realizing, I did this by myself. That person was weighing me down, holding me back, blocking my blessings, bringing me down to the point of not being happy. Again, narcissism and spirituality or religion, the Bible says the devil comes to do what? Kill, steal, and destroy. The narcissist comes to kill your ego. Sorry to break it down to you, but that is what they do. They cause you to stop doing things that put you in a situation where you regret doing them. Like for me, I've done a lot of things for people that I shouldn't have in relationships, and I looked back and I said, I gotta kill that behavior. I can't keep doing that. The narcissist, though, sheds light on that aspect of yourself. So you kill the ego. Okay, the narcissist assists you with that, killing the ego. They steal your joy because you are being gaslit. They're making you feel like you're losing your mind, you're crazy. They'll even tell you, call anybody and ask anybody. They'll say the same thing that I'm saying. They'll agree with me. And if they call some of their, a lot of people who do videos on narcissism use the term flying monkeys. But what I call them is people that they're sending out. That's what we call it where I'm from. You sending people out to say you're right, to agree with you. People that you've been exploiting for 20, 30 years, it's ingrained in them. They're not going to go against the grain. Now, they may circle back behind the narcissist back and tell you, girl, I don't agree with that, but they're not going to confront the narcissist because the narcissist will cut their behinds out of their lives, just like they will drop you out of their lives as well. Okay? So, kill, steal, and destroy. Again, what you want to be aware of is you are going to come out a whole new person after you deal with a narcissist. Especially me, for example, like I said, when I left my narcissistic ex, I realized I don't have the same outlook on life that I used to have. A lot of things that used to make me happy didn't make me happy anymore, but that was okay because those things were materialistic things. Just a whole lot of changes that were necessary. So they do destroy and kill certain aspects of you that it's okay for them to destroy and kill if you really stop and think about it. It's like somebody forcing you to put your big girl panties on. It's like somebody forcing you to step your game up. It's like somebody coming up to you and saying, okay, enough is enough. Time out for all these games you're playing. Time out for putting yourself on the back burner. Time out for not, taking care of XYZ business. And I remember when I was a little girl, I used to say, when I'm an adult, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be one of those people that's unhappy. But what I feel the narcissist teaches you is that you can be nice and lovey-dovey and kind, but do not be a sucker. Do not allow people to walk all over you, make decisions for you, for your life. And don't allow people to give you one-sided or lopsided reciprocity. For example, if I'm going to sell my house to move in with you, my name needs to go on the house. If we're going to move into a place together, both of our names need to be on the lease so that you have financial responsibilities to paying for that particular plot of land if we decide we're no longer going to live there, or for the apartment that we owe, the management company we owe money to. So just don't put yourself in situations where narcissists win, because we give them that power and we give them that energy because they do represent the physical embodiment of the devil. we're just going to be, blunt and honest. And when the Bible and the Christian religion, when they talk about the devil, they're talking about and that's why they say hell is down there and it's fiery, it burns, because they're talking about the root chakra, and they're talking about lower, meaning the root chakra is the lowest of the 7 main chakras. And they're talking about the fact that it's a low vibration. So that's why they're saying it's down there. Hell is underneath you. Okay. And when you're talking about Christ consciousness, which is where you're going to elevate to after dealing with this low vibrational frequency, Jesus is always pointing up. Okay, because your Christ consciousness is here. You have your crown chakra, your Christ consciousness. So what you have to do, my dear loves, is to evolve to a state of mind where you're putting yourself first. Self-love is the best way to detach from narcissistic abuse and to heal from it and to no longer attract narcissists. The reason you want to focus on self-love, and everybody says that, and it sounds so cute. No. It's really a real thing. And one of my narcissistic relationships, that narcissist actually taught me to focus on myself and said to me, oh, I give you time to focus on yourself. And I thought about it. I'm spending all of my time focusing on you. So now you're right. I need to focus on myself. Thank you for letting me know that that's okay. So what you want to do with focusing on yourself, you can do yoga. I drink a matcha tea every morning. I drink a smoothie for lunch. Skin glowing, no makeup. Hello. Sometimes I'll give myself a spa day. Not necessarily meaning that I go to a spa and I let somebody else massage me, which I do that as well. But I give myself a spa day. I buy myself plants, which I nurture and I take care of and I grow. And I also, read and journal and brain dump and look at videos to familiarize myself with certain phenomena and certain, things. Spiritual contracts, I did a reading for myself to see what was in my spiritual contract, and it kept coming up that the abandonment that I felt as a child, not being raised by my mother until I was in almost middle school, 4th grade, that abandonment was why I kept attracting people who made me, who highlighted those issues to force me to heal from it. So what I will also say about the narcissism and spirituality is it forces you to grow, to rise up above low vibrations, and it forces you to focus on yourself. So what I wanted to also follow up and say about self-love, I started this conversation a couple of minutes ago and then I got sidetracked. Narcissists force you to focus on self-love, self-improvement, because you have placed something or someone above yourself that is never going to fully respect you for doing that. That's like if I find someone and they're a doormat and they just take all their clothes off and lay them on the ground and throw roses at my feet, that's going to irk me. It's going to get on my nerves. It's going to irritate me. And eventually I'm just going to start treating them the same way that they treat themselves, like they're beneath me. So when you start your self-healing journey, due to the spiritual laws of this universe that we live in, that we're governed by, what goes up must come down. I don't care how spiritual you are, how religious you are. You could be the Pope himself. If you jump off a 20-story building, doesn't mean you're going to die, but you are going to fall. You're going to hit the ground. You're not going to levitate and float. Okay, so what you have to realize that there are other spiritual principles that govern the universe, not just the law of gravity, the law of reciprocity. So if I'm giving to you and you're not giving back to me, that's fine, because it's going to come back from another source, even if it comes back from source. And also, me putting myself first gives a vibration to the universe that I value myself, that I care about myself, that I love myself enough to cut you off, to divorce you, to walk away. And guess what? I'm going to magnetically attract someone who is going to put me first, who is going to acknowledge the fact that I'm beautiful, who is going to acknowledge the fact that I'm a child of God, of the Most High, and that I deserve to be treated immaculately. And because I am giving you encouragement, motivation, and positive vibes, helping you to attract a higher salary into your world, into your financial existence, helping you to create and carve out more positive experiences, whether it's helping to detach you from previous hexes and getting rid of generational curses, or whatever blessings you bring to narcissist life, you are going to receive that same blessing because of the law of reciprocity. And it may not come back from that particular narcissist, it usually doesn't, but due to another spiritual law, the law of substitution, if you don't get it from where you planted it, baby, trust me, those seeds are going to germinate and pollinate. And just like sometimes you may plant some seeds over here in your garden and the fruit pops up over there. Well, what happened? Well, sometimes the wind blows things. Oya, my great spiritual mother, will blow things. Ashe to Oya, will blow things to where they need to go. And I don't know how this fly got in here. I was just outside watering my flowers, and I think when I had the door cracked, it came in, but I got to get that fly out of here. But yes, so I do plan to do more videos on spiritual topics like this, self-improvement, narcissism, my plants. I'm going to incorporate my plants into my videos. For those of you who have gotten readings from me in the past, I have suggested plants to a lot of you guys. So I want to talk about the spirituality of plants and how to work with plants for spiritual protection as well. Here's one of my plant babies. You guys may remember this plant from the videos that I used to do. But look at how tall. And I'm going to talk about some tips to grow your plants, and again, to use your plants for spiritual purposes. I will talk about Lionsgate Portal later, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for sticking around. If you're an oldie but goodie, and if you're new, thanks for watching. Peace and namaste.